Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoy the conference so far. So, today we will be talking about habits of an effective programmer, and we will be discussing how we can improve ourselves to be better as a programmer and, let's say, more effective, not only as a programmer. So, probably you have these moments in your life when you start your new day, you have the plan to start task A, B, C, yeah, and do them all during this day. Of course, the reality looks a little bit different. Someone schedule you a meeting, another person asks you about something different, etc., etc. So you and the day after 8, 10, 12, you name hours of work, and what you have on your task list: task A, task B, task C, D, and E, and who knows how much more. So this is, let's say, probably typical problem. How many of you had something like that? Lots of, yeah. So common case. During COVID, I have no idea what happened, but generally the number of meetings grows, I think, 10 or 20 times. So instead of 15 minutes daily during the day, I feel like I am all the time on some meeting. When I try to schedule some meeting with my friend to discuss some technical stuff, I discovered that his calendar is fully booked. So it looks a little bit strange. And I will be talking today about some things which may help you to organize yourself, organize your day, and works a little bit more effective. My name is Michal Szczepanik. I am working as solution architect at EPAM, which means that I have around 5 different projects at the same time usually, and need to play with different cases. I started my journey as a developer, as an Android developer, then of course play with the Kotlin, switch to the Flutter for also at some point. So both conferences, DroidCon and FlutterCon, are really near to my heart. I am also a big fan of Lego, so if you would like to buy some sets, probably I have some old ones in-house in many copies. And also work at the university, which generally causes that I need to really organize my time to do everything and have that time to build some new Lego set. So probably this is the way how you start your day, yeah? Today, mainly after party, it's not easy to wake up. But to be honest, coffee is the worst drink which you can drink in the morning, just after wake up. Because what it is doing, generally activate your whole metabolism, your heart, and from, let's say, this level of energy, you jump immediately to running this level of energy. So it causes that you need to use much more power which you don't have in the morning to have this level, which causes that after a few hours, your energy level is below the one which you had in the morning. So to start your day, I consider to choose something different to drink. So water is really good. If you put some electrolytes, it will be much better. So generally, 2 cups of water are, let's say, much better than coffee. Some Himalayan salt in it also can help. If someone is a little bit crazy, you can consider 1 spoon of apple vinegar and lemon juice, which generally, this combination causes that you have, let's say, everything what you need to start your day. Also, it will not break your fast. So if you would like to be on keto or whatever, you can still be there. And do next thing immediately. Go out. Go out for a walk. Leave your phone at home, because this is another thing which generally drain your energy in the morning, and generally cause that your brain switch from the natural way of working, which is in the morning, the creativity part. So it's the best time to create something during the morning than learn about something. And when you start scrolling Facebook, Twitter, whatever, generally you force brain to switch to be a consumer, which causes that when you need to take some task, he's already in consumer mode, so the creativity is really low. And when you go for a walk, as you can see on these images, this is the way how our brain operates after 20 minutes of sitting quietly or after 20 minutes walk. Humans are, let's say, still this kind of animals which were not created to coding, but to hunting and moving. So our brain is activating when we are moving, when sounds, also what we see, are moving, and when we do this 20 minutes, 30 minutes walk, we really activate our brain comparing to any other kind of activities. So if you have some problem to solve, sometimes it's good to take a walk and back, sit, and solve it. And also, a morning walk helps you because you have the natural light from sun, which is much better than any kind of light which you have at home, and generally cause that your organism stop producing melatonin, so it's activate for the day. Let's discuss then about how we should schedule our beautiful day. So this is, let's say, a little bit crazy calendar. Sometimes my calendar looks like that, but I prefer to, let's say, reduce the meetings to the real meetings, not something which we can call, I was on the meeting, which could be an email. Yeah, we have also crazy number of meetings like that. Another thing which stays after COVID. So, as I mentioned, you go to the walk, you back, and you can start your day. And don't start the day with reviewing what's going on in the emails, or generally with the meeting if you don't need it. Book some time, like a meeting with you, with yourself, or something which is usually supported by any kind of calendar, or almost all calendars, Google, Outlook, whatever, you name it. Something which is a focus time. Generally, I usually use that name for that. It's named differently in different calendars, but this is the time when you spend it only with you. So you do your job during that time. You have 2 hours to focus. Everything is in do not disturb mode, including your phones, etc. And come on, you start the day, you do most of your work, and then you can jump to the different things. After this focus time, I usually check the emails to see if there is something important which I should still take care of. And for Monday, I have also another meeting which I call in my calendar planned and auto, which means that I plan the week. So what I would like to do during this week, and sometimes even create some dedicated meetings, like a small focus times for some specific task. Like I need to write the article, I need to do something what is not related to my project. to not forget, I schedule it in the calendar and book some time which I expecting this task may take. And also, I use this time to automate some of my work. So if I discover something which generally do not require my manual work, but I can delegate to the ChatGPT, delegate it to something else, or generally automate some process, let's do it. For example, I see that I had three emails which looks exactly the same. Someone asked me about exactly the same thing. So let's create template which I can send to this kind of emails. And that's it. It really reduces the time during rest of the week. And as you can see, I have few types of meetings. So we have meetings which are meetings, and meetings which I call hi-bye meeting, which is something which looks a little bit differently in my calendar, usually with different colors. That means that, okay, I can skip this meeting, or this is the meeting where I really don't need to focus. Hi-bye meeting is from the fact that usually you have these kind of meetings where you say only two words, hi and bye. The meeting is going and then bye. Yeah. So you probably also had something like that. Yeah. Sometimes we have also another words. Hi, can you hear me? I don't know why we need to check if someone is hearing us if we don't plan to say anything, but let's say something also stay after the situations when we work from home mostly. And generally checks of the emails also at the end of the day. And these let's say two yellow things are the only moments where I'm checking my emails, because some email arrive, you do something, and this is really huge distraction for you, because okay, I need to read it. Okay, I will answer this. Usually you don't have situations which require immediately reaction. Come on, we are the developers. No, we are not doing the surgery. We are creating the programs. If something will be down, okay, we will get this information probably in different channels, which we don't need to, which are still, let's say, active for us, or if we have good monitoring, we will get this information before any client will even discover that something is not okay with his system. The next thing which I would like to cover is some kind of important meeting. So the meeting which usually you are the driver. So you are presenting something, you are the main person of the meeting who need to show something, describe something, etc. It can be some pre-sale meeting, it can be some pitch, it can be even meeting with your customer where you need to discuss something. And as programmers, we have some crazy issue, which I will try to describe a little bit later also. But have you had a situation that you were coding and someone come to you, okay, Michal, we have meeting with the customer. Could you come and describe this stuff for pre-sale immediately? We need you ad hoc. You enter this meeting and they ask you something, and you look like, okay. You are not able to talk as a human because your brain is using these parts because you have coding. So whole analytical thinking were active. Here is the blood. And you are still in the code, and you are not ready to talk with the human because this is this part of brain, and you don't have blood here, any oxygen, and anything which is needed for this piece of brain to work. So before important meeting, take 10, 5-minute break between this meeting and coding. Drink a water, stand up, do some exercise, whatever, to generally switch your brain from, like, let's say, coding part to some more human-friendly form. It's also good practice before you back from your magic home office to your family, because usually when you go from code to your family, it also looks like, who are you? Yep. And mm, and we have also the rest of the week. As you can see, I have something like learning time. So I usually book for each week 1-2 hours for some learning time where I can, let's say, check something new, do some trainings if I need, or read some documentation. If this is, let's say, not possible because you work for a company which generally define that you need to code and provide the value for the customer, and you don't have time to grow during your working hours, it means that you probably need to discuss with your boss, because this discuss that you stay in the same place for all the time, so you will rather not improve anything in the project in, let's say, next year, because you will be a little bit outdated, or your knowledge will be a little bit outdated. But it's not a problem to, for example, describe, okay, we implement that feature, but I would like to implement this feature in different way, using different language, different tools, etc., to check if they are better for that. If you improve something, or at least do the refactoring of the already implemented thing, it will be huge value for your customer, because maintenance later will be easy, and if you improve this feature, usually the performance of it also. And for Friday, I really recommend you to create some time, let's say starting 1 p.m. depends if you are working for your time zone or some a little bit later hours. So second part of the day, in the way that no one can schedule you a meeting if it's not important one, and you haven't agree with him, because come on, we also need to spend some time, a little bit, have time to prepare for the weekend. Let's name it like that. So meetings at the evening, during the Friday evening is, let's say, not something which we would like to have, because it can be huge distraction for our resting time during the weekend. And game changer for us as mobile developers. I know that this is the iPhone, but come on, guys, you are Android developers, so you know where to click in the Android. But you usually have some iOS friends, so to describe them how to activate the awesome feature of the phone, which is the grayscale. It's something which you can do even now, and generally see how it changed your way of using the phone. Because all applications which we create or we use works in the same way. Come on, I need to keep the user as long as possible in the app. If you switch the colors to the grayscale, this content is, let's say, not that much interesting as the color one. So the distraction which you had, because, okay, I need to check the notification because I get the SMS, which usually end up, I spend 2 hours scrolling the TikTok, may not appear anymore. So really good, good solution. And let's say for me it was nice game changer when I switched the phone to this scale, because the distraction which was caused by the phone was really reduced. I was describing you that we have, let's say, different activities during the day. So sometimes we are presenter, sometimes we code, sometimes we are on the hi-bye meeting. And to be honest, we have sometimes standing desk, or let's say we can modify a little bit the place where we are working for each of activities. So for example, where you are presenter, it's maybe better to stand up first. You should look a little bit better. It's not working for me, unfortunately, but when you're standing, you usually look even in this camera a little bit better than when you're sitting near to the computer and they see only your face, because they see your hands, gestures, so much more information you are able to describe when you are standing and the camera see much more of you. So this is one thing. Also, let's say have different lights for presenting. No one like presenter who is sitting in the dark room, but let's say the dark a little bit darker place is better for coding, at least for me. So I prefer to turn off the lights or really reduce the amount of light when I'm coding. And me personally, I like to sit when I'm coding. I know that some people use the treadmills, etc. Usually when I try to do this, unfortunately, I landing on my face on the floor. And this was a little bit problematic for me to move and write code at the same time. But for hi-bye kind of meetings, or the meetings where I'm mostly listener, like trainings, etc., I really like to use the stepper. First, you have some activities during the day. Another thing, it also causes that you can much more focus on the content, because you have activities, more oxygen in your blood, etc., etc. Also, it supports you to consume new knowledge. And as we are programmer, we sometimes need to play with some tasks. And one of the things to manage the task is to use Jira, Trello, whatever. I think you generally name the tool which you use. This is usually the thing which we really don't like, because it requires some clicking, etc. So let's use puzzle-driven development, which was, I think, one of the techniques proposed by Google at some point. I also call it to-do-driven development. So let's create to-do in your code in some specific way, which by plugin or by your script, create the task in Jira or any other tool for you and move it to the right stage according to the code around it. So you don't need to leave Android Studio or tool which you are using to create the task. Some automation can do this for you. I'm working on the script for Android Studio, which generally support both Trello and Jira, expecting that I probably will open source it quite soon, but some code still need to be refactored. So I hope I will be able to share it with you. But this technique is, let's say, something quite useful, and also you can create tasks, subtasks, depends on your need, and you can also manage the code in the way that okay, I need to implement this thing, this thing, this thing, and you don't lose any edge case because you define the structure of the code already using the to-dos. Okay, let's back to the topic how our brain is working. So in our head, we have, let's say, three kinds of brains. The lizard or reptile brain, which is this part of the brain which usually works when we have some non-expected situation. So, for example, we need to present something at the conference, or we are driving the car and someone entered the street, so this is this moment which we usually don't remember. This brain activate us, cause that we hit the brakes and stop. After that, we usually switch to another kind of brain like mammal or human brain, and we use some words to describe how we are happy because someone entered the street in an unexpected way, or generally we check if when we hit this person, we haven't damaged the car or the person. Depends on your priorities. And another brain is, of course, the mammal one. So here we have our memories, emotions. So this is this part of the brain which usually works, which we need to take care of our kids, etc. And the human brain, which we use to, let's say, think slow. So to act fast, we use lizard brain, and it's good to know that switching between lizard brain and mammal brain is not that easy. So we have unexpected situation, like someone, please tell something to our customer, and we have this freeze. It's caused because we are still in lizard brain and we haven't lived that part. So we are not able to think as a human. But also the human brain is the brain which we use for analytical thinking during the coding. But because the size of it is, let's say, quite big, different part of it require the brains for different actions. And also, let's say, interesting fact, the most of our neurons are in around 60–70% of our neurons are in lizard brain. That's why it's working that fast. The oldest part, but at the same time, the part which can do a lot for us. And the lizard brain usually act during, let's say, short period of time, like 0.3 second. And after that, we have 0.2, 0.3 seconds to do the switch. If we are not, if we don't know about it, we can stay, unfortunately, in this part of brain, which is not the best for us from, let's say, human perspective. So be aware of that some accident happened, we can behave differently. Some people can start crying, some people can go somewhere no one knows where, some people can sit and do nothing. This is because we use different parts of the brains. And the other thing which is quite important for us to understand how our brain works. You end up your work, you go, for example, to a kitchen to make a dinner for your family, and at some moment, man, here is the issue in your code, or here is the thing which you need to do, yeah? And something like that hitting your brain. Not nice. Case, I would like to do something else, watch this movie, or generally play with the kids, but come on, something is hitting me here, and works like a reminder about the task which I need to do from my work. So we can do two things. At least two things, but generally these ones usually work. We can start asking this brain, okay, give me another task, which left, another one, another one, another one. Let's use this array of the task, review it, and at some point we get, let's say, no element in this array, which causes that we will be in the quite nice state. We are thinking about nothing. A really amazing moment in your life. You don't have any thoughts in your brain. Great. I really like this state. Some people usually have it by default, but I haven't seen programmer who has this kind of thing. Or the other option. Take the piece of paper, but really piece of paper, not any tool, not your phone, not computer, piece of paper, write the list of the tasks which left for tomorrow down, put this piece of paper in your laptop and close it. What it causes? Your brain will not think what left, because the list of which stores the stuff what left is in the laptop. I can forget about it. Magic, but works. The other thing which generally, requires some time from us, but I have really good QA in my team, and usually he starts to do this stuff for our project, so he create some kind of journal of the activities which we have in the projects. So he lists the stuff which we agreed with the customer, etc., or list of the links for important documentations, stuff like that. And to be honest, I discovered that this can be quite useful, and this can be, let's say, like in, let's say, paper form or in form of Word document or some NOSB, whatever. The place where you store some most important information which you get from the projects or from activities during the day, like links, like informations which you have, or even the note that, okay, in this project I implement something like that which can be used in future. How many times you had the situation, I read some interesting article a month ago about, I don't know, coroutines, whatever, and I cannot find it. Having this information in the journal can allow you to quite easily find it. So my journal usually works in the way that I have some tags which I use to tag things in it, like notes, links, and other things, or even the pictures which I found in the internet, like, for example, nice meme for the presentation, or some nice diagram about some architecture. And having that allows you to find things much easier, and also, in case of the journal for the project, can be really good support if customer changed the decision which we agreed on some meeting, but he thought that we don't have any documentation about it. If you mention that this day during the daily, we agreed that it will works like that. Okay, agree. And thing which is really important for us, please sleep 7-8 hours. Let's say try to keep this 8.5 hours in a bed on daily basis. This is really important. I know that we have sometimes situations that we need to sleep less, or like I think Schwarzenegger during his one of his talk mentioned, sleep faster. come on, we need that because we need to have at least these four cycles of REM, deep sleeps, etc., to clean up our brain. And if we will don't do that, it may be not cause any issues for us in next week, but in, for example, next 5 years, we can have much bigger issues. And it's really important thing to spend time on sleeping. Fresh air, something quite obvious, but really monitor the air in your room, because if you don't have enough oxygen, it causes that you are quite sleepy and also not effective because of that. So open the window from time to time, have some flowers which generally clean up the air, and you will see that a difference, I think, in a week or something like that when you introduce stuff like that. Okay. Regarding the sleeping, I also recommend you to use the red lights. So reduce the blue light in your bedroom. Blue light in the evening causes that you stop producing the melatonin, which is really need to have good sleep. So instead of, for example, lights with glasses with filter for the blue light, red bulb with anti-flickering mode can be also good support. Regarding the tools, and if you are using Mac, this is, let's say, good slide to make a photo if you need it immediately. I will try to share the presentation. You should use the tools like Rycast, so launcher on, let's say, storage. Keyboard Maestro, which generally allow you to automate everything with shortcuts. Paste, a really good tool to support your copy pasting feature of your laptop. Come on, how we can program without copy pasting code from Stack Overflow? I cannot imagine that. And but please remember, from answers, not from the questions. And the make, which can do the magic, like you receive the email, you get this content, for example, in Google Sheet or whatever, or any kind of action. This email also causes that you send, for example, some photos from your vacations. The first one will be shared on your Facebook or any other social media. The rest will be archived in your Dropbox. Magic happened and you don't need to automate anything. You can also do this, for example, you receive some email, ChatGPT check the content and provide the answer, and a lot of options. Generally, I haven't seen the limits of the make. You can really automate most of the stuff which you do. The tools which I really like and have in my office room. Okay, the option with Google is in different room, but in office I have Alexa. So, for example, I'm using the Alexa command to activate my office. So I'm entering the office, and during the time which I need to go from the door to my desk, lights are activated, computer is running, everything is set up according to my setup, and I can start working without clicking thousands of things to, for example, activate the light and set it according to the current time of the day or whatever. Stream Deck, something from Elgato used mostly by streamers, but I see that you can program any kind of button here, and under one button you can, for example, unmute yourself or mute yourself, activate your camera, switch the lights, put some timers, or even click one button to open the current review which need to be done, and you see that, okay, I have the review to do on this because you have the different icon. Or some magic thing. You have these calendars, thousands of meetings. Each meeting is, of course, unfortunately, in different tool, Zoom, Teams, you name it. I have one button which I click to generally start and connect to the nearest meeting or the meeting which we just started. And I don't need to search which tool, where is the link to it. I click one button, I know. OK, guys. Thank you very much. We are almost run out of the time. I invite you also for Mobile People Community Day, which will happen next month. Do you have some questions, maybe? We have probably time for only one question. If no, then thank you very much.